This is your daily MULN update. MULN, people. MULN Automotives. Let's see what we got. So, basically, the open interest went from yesterday's 140,993 to 144,216 contracts. So, we're up about 3,223 contracts on the day. And that was after an up day where a decent amount of people actually took some profits off their $1 strikes. But that's okay because we're still increasing. We're still buying more than we're selling. And that is the trend we're looking to continue. But also, after you see some gains like that, the fact that we're still buying more than we're selling, even though like there's just a lot of people are just waiting in limbo. They're not buying, they're not selling. They got some profits right now. They're in the green, but they want more. And we're gonna see if they crash it back down or if they keep sending it up. My bet's that they keep sending it up, and I'm gonna show you why. With the market cap, the dilution, share price, and all that good stuff. And so I will be going over that. Holy moly, calm down. All right, so we got the open interest covered. Let's see what else we got here. We got the volume. Let's talk about the volume real quick. So let's do MULN stock price history. If we look at this, the volume went up big at 631 million right here when it went up to $2. It went to its high. Basically, it opened from the close was 69 cents. And it opened up and went all the way to $1.95 before closing at $1.69. So it had like a 200% increase day right here. After this day, it crashed all the way down and closed at $1.03 with 500 million volume. So we see that we went up to 631 million, crashed to 504. And since then, we went dramatically down in volume as price crashed, dramatically down in volume as our price crashed. With a little bit up in volume right here, price starts to rebound a little bit up in a decent amount of volume here. Price rebounds pretty good. And then yesterday we had 200, I don't know why it's not on this data, but we had like 220 million and another good green day. And we're going to be a little bit lower in volume today, probably around 150 million, but we're only going slightly red. And so because we're only going slightly red, because it just doesn't look like they have much power. And so one thing that I want to show you guys is that the short interest from yesterday went up 16.61%. It's now at 34.5% short of the entire free float at 6.84 million shares. And so yesterday the price went up a decent amount. And they added to the short interest. Typically, when you see big gains in short interest, it was right after we just had a really red day, and it's basically them beating down the price. Well, they added to the short interest, and they still had to let the price go up. So that tells me that there's a lot of pressure on the stock price right now, and it's still got a lot of room to move up. Another thing that I want to show you on this guy, this is some Twitter and data analysis, basically from Monday to Tuesday results. So if we look at this on Tuesday, there was a total of 4,830 posts, 4,640 comments, 116,000 likes, and 16 million impressions. So 16 million people saw a post about MULN on Twitter, and all of that is double what it was on Monday. And so if we look down at the bottom, we'll see that there's 442 Twitter users with 10K plus followers that are tweeting about MULN, and there are 21 users with 100,000 plus followers that are tweeting about MULN. So very good on the social aspect of it. The Reddit, if we go to Reddit and we go to, let's just do r/MULN. This had only 300 members. The beginning of last week, the end of last week. So when I joined this on Monday, there was only like 350 followers, and now there's 1745. So that's positive. If you start going to like r/short squeeze, At first, I was like the only one talking about MULN. After it dropped again from its, there was people talking about it before it ran up to the $2 the first time, but I didn't know about it. But now there are lots of people talking about it, and it's getting positive traction. So let's see here. There's a lot of people pushing oil right now, and if I were you, I'd stay away from oil, stay away from energy. That's lame. It's not showing me the total amount of up. Okay, so this one's got 41 likes. 16, 17. This is the Twitter data that I posted. It's got 60 likes. This one says, I'm going to post one ticker today from somebody else, and it's got 76 likes. So MULN all over the board. I mean, Reddit has become less of, since they like dominated Wall Street Bets and the mods like set all these new rules, Reddit's become less of a factor for this kind of stuff. Like basically most of the Reddit people are in AMC and GME, but Twitter is still very open to a lot of stuff. And let's see here. So the last thing that I want to go over, that's your daily dose of MULN right there. Why you should be bullish on MULN. Who cares if it drops 5%? Who cares if it drops 10%? I don't think it can drop below $1 again. But now I'm going to show you, basically MULN has the smallest market cap, the smallest free float, the smallest number of shares available. But what I'm going to show you is in comparison to AMC, what to look for, what to see for a squeeze, and what we can expect, and why I think the price is going to go much, much higher very, very soon. So if you guys look at my computer, let's see here. Here's what we got. All right, so this is AMC Outstanding Shares, and this is going to be October 20. Well, let's actually go back here. So if you look, it's basically 100 million, all 2019, most of 2020. And then October 2020, we get to 124 million shares. Okay. Then 130. So they add right here, they added roughly 14 million shares. Then they add 6 million shares. Then they add 7 million shares. Then they add 13 million shares. Then they stay at 160. And so from December 08 to December 28, they added 56 million shares. Let's see what happened on the stock price back then. December 08 to December 28. So December 08, the price got up to a high of 433. They added those 50 million shares, and they crashed it all the way down to 220, 222 by the end of December. Okay, so basically this is when retail started buying heavy, and they were like, oh, we can't let the price go up this much, so what are we going to do? We're going to dilute. Okay, so they dilute it to 200 million shares. Well, they did that 50 million shares, and then in the very end of December, to get that final price drop, they throw in another 8 million shares right here. And then what happens? January 2022, this is when that extreme volatility happened, and AMC, so let's see what the price was looking like January 2022. Alrighty, so January 2022, we're right here. Price starts to skyrocket from $2 all the way to $3.77. That's 100%. Here in 5 days, it went 100% up. And then 3-4 days after that, it went 500% up. Went from 374 all the way to 236. And if we look at this, January 29, what was this? This day was January 27. So on this dilution, we got, so the dilution before the giant rip, they diluted 110 million shares. And then on the giant rip, after the giant rip, they diluted another, what is this? Looks like 36 million shares. And then after that, they didn't dilute again until the next February pop. So if we look at March 3rd, they went another 23 million, so 73 million. And why did they do that? Because what happened before March 3rd? Before March 3rd, the price was down to $5 a share, and then February 24th and 25th got up to $11 a share. Okay, so March 3rd, they beat it back down because it went up 100%. Too many people were interested in the stock. They didn't like it. And so that was the March 3rd dilution. Then we go all the way to April, May. We hit the June rally. And at the June rally, they start to dilute. There we go, another 50 million shares. And then after the June rally, another 10 million shares. And so this is basically before it went to $72. This is right after it went to $72. And so you can see how right before a big rip, they're going to dilute. And then after the big rip, they're going to dilute some more to send it back down and put a lot of money in their pocket. If we calculate the the market cap to go with this, basically the market cap got as low as around 200 to 300 million. The market cap started slowly increasing with dilution, and then during the January run-up, it went from, it 10x'd in market cap. So basically went to 5 billion, while the price was high, 5 billion market cap, but after the price dropped back down to $5 a share, went down to $2 billion market cap, where back over here, a $5 a share was a $500 million market cap. So because they added 400% on the outstanding shares and went to basically 400 million shares over here, that's why you have $2 billion market cap. Now here's the thing. AMC is in a situation where they literally cannot dilute anymore. The retailers own the float, and they own the voting rights for further dilution, and they said no twice. Once over here, and so once before the, once in April, and then once in June after the big run-up, or July after the big run-up. And so they can't dilute. They'd have no more shares to dilute. They got like 13 million more authorized shares they can dilute if they want to. But the point is that AMC is out of firing power for the most part. And so because the market cap's so large, they can still delay any type of giant increases for AMC people that are waiting for a squeeze. But they can't, they're kind of trapped. And so I personally don't think, like, basically none of the insiders own this company, and I don't think MULN wants to do that. I think MULN wants to own their company. I think the people are coming in to poach the company, want their company. Are they going to dilute? Yes. Do they want to raise cash? Yes. But what you got to understand is they only need to raise $50 million, which is only 50 million shares, and which is a very small amount of money from retail in comparison to what AMC raised. AMC raised $4 billion doing all this crap and trying to keep the price down, always at its bottom price. MULN, if they raise $50 million, they'll have no debts whatsoever. So they don't need a lot of cash. They won't dilute too much. After the price runs, expect massive dilution, but they're going to let the price run. They're going to try to get the maximum dollar for their biggest bang for their buck, for their dilution. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to want to be tracking to kind of watch the phases of the MULN squeeze. I think it's going to happen multiple times, and I think this is the kind of data that you can watch to understand it best. Good luck, people.